Good afternoon. And welcome to the MAG Air Quality Technical Advisory Committee meeting. At this time, Lisa Young will take a roll call to see if we have a quorum present.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, when I call your name, please respond. Nancy Allen.
Present.
Stan Ballone.
Here.
Dave Barry.
Hi there.
I'm sorry, Dave Barry. Benjamin Bitter.
Yep, I'm here.
Walter Bouchard. Kim Butler.
I'm here.
Manny Carpenter. Derek Castaneda.
Present.
Peter Margoliner.
Here.
Aaron Chavez.
I'm here.
Beverly Chanowski.
I'm here.
Sam Brown.
Here.
Michael Denby.
Michael Denby is here.
Scott DeBias.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Wild Fielder.
Here.
Robert Forrest. Elizabeth Foster.
Here.
Rhonda Humbles.
Here.
Hondo Judd. Jessica Blazina. Martin Lucero. Joseph Martini. Bill McClellan.
Bill McClellan is here.
Amanda McGinnis.
Amanda McGinnis is here.
JC Porter.
Here.
Mario Saldamondo.
Here.
Joseph Martini. Megan Sheldon.
Here, present.
Ramona Simpson. Susie Stevens. Ed Stillings.
Ed Stillings is here.
Steve Trussell. Advar Taved.
I'm here.
Kai Umeda.
Present.
Robert Bondenacker. Michelle Wilson.
Michelle Wilson here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
This is Robert Forrest.
Oh, thank you, Robert.
Sorry, I had a hard time getting on.
Okay. Mr. Chair, we do have a quorum.
Great, thank you very much. I'll now call the meeting to order. Our first agenda item is approval of the May 21st, 2020 meeting minutes. We need a motion to approve those and a second.
This is Megan Sheldon. I move to approve the meeting minutes of May 21st, 2020.
Could we have a second, please?
This is Robert Forrest. I second.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions before we take a vote to approve those? All right, thank you. Hearing none, we'll have Lisa do a roll call vote at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members of the committee, when I call your name, please state your vote. Nancy Allen.
Yay.
Stan Ballone.
Aye.
Benjamin Bitter.
Aye.
Walter Bouchard. Kim Butler.
Aye.
Manny Carpenter. Derek Castaneda,
Aye.
Peter Margoliner,
Aye.
Aaron Chavez,
Approve.
Beverly Chanowski,
Aye.
Sam Brown,
Aye.
Michael Denby,
Aye.
Scott DeBias,
Aye.
Will Fielder,
Aye.
Robert Forrest,
Aye.
Elizabeth Foster,
Aye.
Rhonda Humbles,
Aye.
Hondo Judd, Martin Lucero, Joseph Martini,
Here.
Bill McClellan,
Aye.
Amanda McGinnis,
Aye.
J.C. Porter,
Aye.
Mario Saldamondo,
Aye.
Megan Sheldon,
Aye.
Ramona Simpson,
Aye.
Ed Stillings,
I am non-voting ex officio.
I'm sorry, Steve Trussell, Advar Taved,
Aye.
Kayumeta,
Aye.
Robert Vandenacker, Michelle Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, which is which will be presented by Lindy Bauer. It's the EPA Final Rule on finding a failure to attain the PM10 standard in the West Pinal County non-attainment area.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. On June 24th, the Environmental Protection Agency published a final rule to determine that the West Pinal County non-attainment area did not attain the PM10 standard by the December 31st, 2018 attainment date and is reclassified as a serious area now, effective July 24th of 2020. The attainment date for serious areas is December 31st, 2022. The Clean Air Act requires that a serious area plan be submitted within 18 months of the effective date of the reclassification, which is January 24th, 2022. We wanted the committee to have EPA's final rule. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, great. We'll move on to agenda item number 4.
If I could ask one question, I'm sorry.
No problem. Go ahead.
Late on my mute button.
That's okay.
This is Mike Denby. Thank you, Lindy, for that. So do we know what this means for Pinal County in terms of growth or restriction on any potential for building down there?
Michael, at this time, we are just starting into this, so we don't know the implications yet. It is a difficult time to be reclassified as a serious area. We're in a severe drought, a pandemic, so these are difficult times. So given that this is just effective July 24th, we'll be working through to develop a plan. And so we don't have any details yet on implications.
Thank you.
Lindy, this is Amanda. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you. So are you all doing a new emissions inventory?
Amanda, we will be describing these types of things in the tentative schedule with the different items that are required. It's the next agenda item here. And so perhaps, that will be helpful to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other
Yes.
question?
I'm sorry, this is Bill McClellan. What date did you say the plan was due?
January 24th of 2022.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if there's no additional questions,
Can I ask, this is Mario Saldamondo from Goodyear. Just wondering, does this make its way to MAG management? Regional council or?
We did report to the regional council in April that there was a proposed finding of failure to attain the PM10 standard in the West Pinal County non-attainment area. Any plan, of course, that's done would of course go before the MAG Management Committee and Regional Council.
Thank you, Lindy.
all right. Any additional questions before we move on? All right, agenda item 4 is the tentative schedule for the 2022 Serious Area Particulate Plan for PM10 for the West Pinal County non-attainment area. And Lindy will give that presentation again.
Thank you very much. Next slide. So we have a presentation for the committee today. This is a very preliminary draft of the tentative schedule for the 2022 Serious Area Particulate Plan for PM10 for the West Pinal County PM10 non-attainment area. Next slide. So as a little bit of background information for the committee, on May 31st of 2012, the Environmental Protection Agency designated the West Pinal PM10 non-attainment area as a moderate area effective July 2nd, 2012. The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality prepared the 2015 West Pinal Moderate PM10 Non-Attainment Area SIP and submitted it to the Environmental Protection Agency on December 31st, 2015. Now, the attainment date for moderate areas was December 31st of 2018. On June 24th, 2020, EPA published that final rule to determine that the West Pinal County non-attainment area has failed to meet the standard by December 31st, 2018 attainment date and is reclassified to serious. And again, the effective date is July 24th of 2020. The failure to attain determination was based on complete quality assured and certified monitoring data for 2016 and through 2018. Next slide. Now this is a map of the non-attainment areas that we have in the Maricopa area, as well as a map of the PM10 non-attainment area in Pinal County. And you can see the blue background there. The blue is the Maricopa Association of Governments Metropolitan Planning Area boundary for transportation. The yellow down in Pinal, that is the Metropolitan Planning Area boundary for the Sun Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization. So we wanted to show you the map of the non-attainment areas that also included the Metropolitan Planning Area boundaries. Next slide. And this is a more detailed map of the PM10 non-attainment area in West Pinal County. You can see that there are 8 monitors in this non-attainment area. Now the Hidden Valley monitor has experienced exceedances of the standard. They have had the most exceedances of the standard. Next slide. Now this is a closer look at the Hidden Valley monitor. The Hidden Valley monitor is located near a dirt road. It's called Smith Road. And that road has a great deal of travel on it, and it's a dirt road. And it's especially active in the morning to help bring the food in for the agricultural feedlots. And the feedlots are located to the right. Those are the feedlots. And then you can see the dirt road, Smith Road. And then the other area that has quite a bit of dirt is there is a material dirt storage pit that Pinal County Public Works has. Now, Pinal County Public Works put a fence up around that material dirt storage pit, and they do not use the material dirt storage pit, and they haven't used it for quite some time in an effort to try to reduce PM10. And then Smith Road, the MAG Regional Council allocated funding to pave Smith Road. It will be completed December 31st of 2021. Next slide. Now, we want to point out that the attainment date, again, for serious areas is December 31st, 2022. The serious area plan is due within 18 months of that reclassification date, or by January 24th of 2022. The plan is required to include best available control measures to achieve the maximum degree of emissions reduction from a particulate source. Best available control measures are required to be implemented no later than 4 years after the reclassification effective date. So that date is July 24th, 2024. The definition of major source of PM10 emissions is changed from 100 tons to 70. And the region would need 3 years of clean data at the monitors to meet the standard. So if you're going to meet the attainment deadline of December 31st, 2022, this means for PM10, you can have no more than 1 exceedance per monitor over a 3-year period. Unfortunately, the Hidden Valley monitor that we just showed you a picture of, the Hidden Valley monitor has already had numerous exceedances of the standard this year. So it doesn't look like there is an opportunity to get the 3 years of clean data in order to meet the attainment date of December 31st of 2022. Those are very fine, dry, silty soils around that monitor. There are certainly challenges. Next slide. Now, the Clean Air Act for serious areas also allows the Environmental Protection Agency to extend the serious area attainment date for up to 5 years if the following requirements are met. Attainment by December 31st, 2022 is impracticable. So as it stands right now, unfortunately, there have been too many exceedances in the first year of 2020. So it doesn't look like that we will be able to show attainment at the monitors. Secondly, you have to show that there's compliance with all requirements and commitments in the plan. And third, the plan has to include the most stringent measures that are included in the plan of any state or are achieved in practice in any state and can feasibly be implemented in the area. And then attainment no later than December 31st of 2027. So these are very important requirements for serious areas, and they're pretty tight, with best available control measures and then most stringent measures. Next slide. Now, the serious area plan for PM10 will be prepared through a coordinated effort with the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, Arizona Department of Transportation, Pinal County Air Quality Control District, Sun Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization, and Maricopa Association of Governments. Next slide. So we had been working with those entities to prepare a preliminary draft schedule for the Serious Area Particulate Plan for PM10 for West Pinal. So we want to call your attention to some of these items because they'll be coming before this committee. And Amanda, you had asked about a base year emissions inventory. Absolutely, we will have to develop a base year emissions inventory. We're looking at 2017 and potentially 2019. MAG will then have to prepare a modeling protocol document that we will run past the Environmental Protection Agency. They have to agree on the modeling approach. And then this next category is very important. We have to complete a best available control measure analysis and a most stringent measure analysis. And so for that, we will have to take a look at best available control measures and most stringent measures for significant sources of PM10 in the non-attainment area. And we'll have to see if we already have BACM. We may already have some MSM through the plan done by the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. We will have to look at what other areas have in place for PM10 as well. And then those measures need to be evaluated for their economic and technological feasibility. We will also have to evaluate them for their PM10 emission reductions, like what kind of potential impact would they have. Now, we are fortunate that we have the Governor's Agricultural Best Management Practices Committee. This is a committee that was established in state law. So for example, agriculture is one of the significant sources. And so for example, for any ag best available control measures and most stringent measures, we would provide those to the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality and also the Governor's Agricultural Best Management Practices Committee so that they could perform an evaluation. Another thing that's very important here is developing the future year emissions inventory. And we don't really know what year that will be yet, but we put in the preliminary draft schedule 2027. And then we're going to have to evaluate the potential measures in reducing PM10. And that will be coming before the MAG Air Quality Technical Advisory Committee. So we'll be presenting a great deal of information to you to take a look at for this plan. Then, as the committee has customarily done in the MAG process before, the committee will make a recommendation on a suggested list of measures for consideration by implementing entities. And then the MAG Management Committee makes a recommendation, and then Regional Council. Now, once the Regional Council recommends a suggested list of measures for consideration by the implementing entities, then the implementing entities will go through the measures and they will determine which measures are available and feasible for implementation by that entity. And then the Governor's Agricultural Best Management Practices Committee will be, again, reviewing the ag-related measures. Then the commitments come in to implement the measures from the implementing entities. And then we have to evaluate what kinds of commitments we received. Will they be enough to demonstrate attainment of the standard? And by what date? So these are the types of detailed analyses that we will be doing. And then we will complete the technical analysis and have a plan document available for public review in September of 2021, have the hearing in October. Next slide. And then the committee will report back to the committee on any comments that we received. And then the committee makes a recommendation in October, then the November Management Committee recommendation, Regional Council adoption in December, And then our partner, the Sun Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization, they too will be adopting the plan, probably in the January timeframe. And then we will also provide that to DEQ, and then DEQ will submit the plan to EPA. And then we should receive an adequacy finding on our conformity budget in April of 2022 for transportation purposes. Next slide. So we wanted to go over with you the schedule that we have and what we know so far. This schedule is subject to change. We have many questions that need to be addressed. We have posed together, all of the agencies working on the plan, proposed questions to EPA so that we can get a clear indication of what needs to be done and by what deadline. And we wanted to bring this before the committee today so that you can see that very early on here, we're working with our partners on how to address these issues. And one thing I also wanted to mention too is the Pinal Air Quality Control District. They have been very good to work with. Pinal County Air Quality Control District already has a number of very good regulations that are in place. And they've indicated that potentially they may already have the authority to do whatever comes our way as we prepare this plan. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lindy. Are there any questions?
This is Mike Denby. Thank you, Lindy. That was awesome. I really appreciate the calendar, the Gantt chart, I guess you'd call it, of what we think we will be needing to do and the timeframes to do that. It's very, very helpful. So I had talked with Mike Sundblom a long time ago about emissions offset scenarios. And I guess they were looking at trying to do a PM10 version of road paving like Maricopa County has. And I guess EPA was telling them in no uncertain terms that they would not get that approved. Do you have any insight or knowledge on where that process is, or if that is anywhere in your bandwidth? I don't put you on the spot. That's a question for Mike, but I thought maybe you might know.
Actually, I don't have an indication of where they are in that process. Pinal County, has been working with us, especially on paving Smith Road, for which MAG allocated the funding for.
Mike, this is Scott Tobias. I'm with Pinal County Air Quality. I can answer that question for you. Unfortunately, not much has changed as it relates to an offset rule as of right now. But if and when the time does arrive with EPA for that type of discussion, we're more than willing to broach the subject again.
Again, this is Mike Denby. Is there any concern from like Lucent or Nikola or whatever the people making the headlines are about their ability to get offsets if they need them? I don't know, maybe they don't even need them. I don't know what exactly they're building down there.
Yeah, I can't speak to those specific projects since I'm not dealing with it on the permitting side of things. I'm pretty sure that if that was an issue, that we'd be in the full throes of discussions with EPA on that type of work for offsets. And since I haven't heard anything lately, I'm assuming it hasn't reached that level yet of concern.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, since I don't hear any, thank you very much, Lindy. Agenda item number 5 is a Valley Metro update on the new Share the Ride system and solar canopies. This will be presented by Abigail Cooksey Williams and Mackenzie McGuffey.
Great, thank you. First slide. I'm thrilled to share with you the latest news from the Commute Solutions Group at Valley Metro. It's the new and much improved ShareTheRide.com website. Finally, it has arrived. Next slide. Our new site promises to engage and energize Valley commuters. For regular users, we now call them members, it is very different, fresh and streamlined, and easy to use. You can discover the alternative modes available to you that match your commute. You can participate in contests and competitions and win a few rewards in the process. It's also a great place to discover your organization's travel reduction program, TRP, incentives. We also have customized sub-sites for specific organizations. Next slide. How it works is simple. Create your account with your work email, enter your commute, start and end, and you can also download the app to use the mobile version. The matching that it offers is easy and thorough. It is truly multimodal. Carpool, vanpool, transit, bicycle, walking, and even telework. It's got everything, and it's as close as your mobile phone. Then, after you register and enter your commute, log your trips, and earn the recognition and rewards. It's simple, effective, and fun. For the purposes of this presentation, I won't go through each screen, but I did want to give you a quick glimpse. Next slide. With a detailed dashboard, you have a wealth of information at your fingertips. The picture on the left is similar to what you would see on your dashboard. You can see your commute and what options are available. You are prompted to log your commute on the next screen. And when you log your commute or track your trips, you can start to see how your actions are impacting our air. Not only will logging your commute make you eligible for prizes and competition and challenges, but you're also able to quickly see financial and pollution savings. As a matter of fact, the pollution calculations were developed specifically for our area. You can also see on the right the detailed map. There are multiple overlays that are available. You can see traffic cameras, road conditions, the weather, transit stops, and other real-time information as it is available. You select the view. You decide exactly what you want to see. Next slide. Here's that pollution breakdown that you can access from your dashboard. On the left, you can see a typical individual user's view. You can see that there are 62 trips logged, the distance, and the pollution saved. Since this was a teleworker, there are no calories burned. It also shows the savings. On the right, it shows the view that we, Commute Solutions, sees based on the input of all of the trips that month from our users. In addition to CO2, it also calculates NOx, VOx, PM10, and 2.5. We are the first program to be able to share such detail. A special shout out to our friends over at DEQ for helping with the math on that one. If you would like the specific calculations that we used, please email me. We think it's pretty cool. And again, thank you, DEQ. Next slide. This website has been a long time in the making, and I can tell you that our Commute Solutions team worked extremely hard to make it just right for our users. Granted, there are still some tweaks here and there, and we will continue to innovate with our RideAmigos, but we have already discovered some of the things thus far that we love the most. As I said before, the matching it offers is truly multimodal. It's got everything, and it shows you your options. It's also got traffic condition cameras, overhead signs. Our users love the detailed maps. It also shows detailed transit routes, information, stops, nearby park and rides. It's all there. The mobile app is our best yet. It's clear and easy to use. It also offers gamification. For example, you can earn badges. The badges are similar to what you earn on your Fitbit or a fitness app. We also have the ability to customize them. It creates a fun, friendly competition and exciting leaderboards. There are also special contests and challenges. Our members can experience a variety of opportunities. We easily migrated 10,000 users and 400 custom subsites. We're very proud of that. We love the detailed pollution savings, and it's also great for forward development. Innovation is ongoing. Automated processes like emergency ride home is available. Excellent development and support is constant. And it's bilingual. It's English and Spanish. Next slide. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that none of this would be possible without the ongoing support from the Maricopa Association of Governments, Maricopa County Air Quality Division, and the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. Thank you for that. Next slide. Please feel free to contact me if you have any additional questions or if you would like a special tour of the new site. Thank you for inviting me to share our new site with you today. We're very proud of it.
Thank you, Abby. Does anyone have any questions? All right, thank you. We'll have the second half of that presentation by Mackenzie on the solar panels.
Thank you. Could you go next slide? All right, great. So my name is Mackenzie McGuffey. I'm the Sustainability Coordinator for Valley Metro. We recently finished up our Mesa solar operations installation. So I want to take you through what that is and share a little bit about our previous solar initiatives. Next slide. So we primarily operate out of 3 facilities. The first one being our rail facility, so where all of the rail cars are maintained. So we installed solar there in March of 2015, and this solar installation accounts for about 15 to 20% of the energy for the facility. And kind of throughout this presentation, I'm going to be talking about energies and the equivalencies of operating a house for a year, just to kind of make it a little easier. So this solar facility is the energy equivalent of operating about 123 houses for an entire year. So we also have solar at the Tempe bus facility. So that solar was installed in December of 2017. It accounts for about 30 to 40% of the energy for the facility, and it's the equivalent of about 60 homes powered for the entire year. So next slide. So you can see kind of just the overview of what this looks like. So on the left side of the screen, you'll see the solar panels in the parking lot and in the dirt to the north of the parking lot. There's also solar panels on the right side of the screen near the other building. So this is a really massive facility. It's a pretty large solar installation. Next slide. And then the Tempe bus facility is a bit smaller. It's also LEED certified, so it's just naturally taking less energy. So much smaller solar installation, but accounting for a little bit more of a percentage than the rail facility does. So next slide. So our most recent solar addition was to our Mesa bus operations and maintenance facility. So that's just overview picture from a drone that we have. Next slide. So the project really started as a shade canopy project. The main problem at hand was that we had over 100 buses. They didn't have shade. It was taking a really long time to get them to cool off enough before sending them into service for the day. So it was really apparent that we needed shade, but this turned into a solar project because we realized the energy potential. And I'll get into the energy in a couple minutes. So we started construction in June of 2019, and the solar became operational in kind of mid-May of 2020. So up front, it was about 1.2 million for Valley Metro, and then we financed about 2 million through our solar purchase agreement. Next slide. So the panels, they're about 21 square feet each. They each produce about 350 watts. There's over 3,500 of them, and they cover about 76,000 square feet. So this is our largest installation to date. Next slide, please. The energy potential of all of our facilities, this is the biggest. So we're looking at an estimated about 2.1 million kilowatt hours per year. And that's about 60 million kilowatt hours over the lifetime of the solar installation. And back to the houses analogy, this is about 171 houses for an entire year. It's accounting for up to 80%, between 70 and 80% of the facility. And then the graphic to the right, the numbers are a little bit hard to see, but this is our generation to date. So it started in mid-May. We're producing about 150,000 kilowatts for the entire month, or 150,000, excuse me, and then higher in the summer. And this graphic was pulled a couple weeks ago, so it's not fully showing August yet. Next slide. And then back to the savings. So in energy, we're looking at about $35,000 in year one and about $2 million over the life of the solar panels. In buses, so what we initially were doing the project for, we're looking at about $67,000 in savings in fuel each year. And then of course in air, because we're producing solar rather than pulling the energy from the grid, we're going to be saving about 1.6 tons per year of carbon dioxide. And next slide. And yeah, so this is a picture from our real facility, but I just love the picture, so I had to put it in. But this is really a milestone for us because now all of our major facilities are producing solar. So as our bus technology is getting cleaner, now the energy that is used to maintain the vehicles is also getting cleaner as well. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them now, or my contact information is below and you can shoot me an email later.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right, thank you again, Mackenzie. We'll move on to agenda item number 6, the EPA Final Action on the MAG 2017 8-hour ozone moderate area plan. And Lindy Bauer from MAG will give us that summary.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, we wanted you to have the Federal Register notice for EPA's final action on the MAG 2017 8-hour ozone moderate area plan. On June 2nd, 2020, EPA published a final rule to approve the portions of the MAG 2017 8-hour ozone moderate area plan for the 2008 ozone standard that address the requirements for emission inventories, a demonstration of attainment by the applicable attainment date, reasonably available control measures, reasonable further progress, motor vehicle emission budgets for transportation conformity, the vehicle inspection program and maintenance programs, new source review rules, and offsets. Now, since EPA determined that the 2008 standard had been met by the attainment date in a separate finding, EPA determined that the requirement for contingency measures no longer applied. EPA finalized the disapproval of the contingency measures. They were no longer needed and they were not compliant with the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court ruling against early implementation of contingency measures. And finally, EPA is approving the new source review rules and offset element in our prior MAG 2014 8-hour ozone plan for the 2008 ozone standard. So we had provided again to the committee EPA's proposed action, and we wanted to give you the final action as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindy. Are there any questions? Okay, great. Thank you. Agenda item number 7 is a request for future agenda items. If there are any, you can state those now. If not, you can let us know. Does anyone have any topics for agenda items? All right. Since we don't have any, item number 8 is to adjourn this meeting. So business is now concluded. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
This is Ben Bitter, so moved.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
Mike Denby, I second that.
All right. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.